Hey guys, it's Amy with Crafts by Aimee, and of course I'm not ready right now. When am I ever ready for something? Ready? What's ready? I'm just kidding, you guys. I do have something ready. Just not completely ready, so I'm just fooling around on my computer. I'm not actually fooling around. I'm actually working on something on my computer so that I can do what I want to do today. I am going to be working on a new journal. Surprise, surprise. Let's see what other things I have that I could put on here. I'm going to do these. I don't know what size they're going to be, but let's see if I can make them. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Which one is this even? I'll try and see if I can get multiples of this on the same page. Oh, I can turn it sideways. Thanks, Miss Wendy. So it is 7 o'clock Central, 8 Eastern. It's my time. We are in Wendy's group today, Dusty Granny's event group. And it is another journaling event. And today's theme is vacation, which I waited till the last minute to realize. And I was going to do a travel one. And then I realized that I could do one, but I had already started working on this one. And yeah. So I'm starting to work on a Disney one. I don't know how far we're going to get. I don't have the pages ready. This isn't going to fit on there. Oh well. It was worth a shot. Hey, Miss Lisa. So we're going to work on a Disney one. Disney theme park one. So let me get my laptop out of my way. And I spent money on a cover just because I waited until today when Miss Lisa was live to start trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So yeah, there's that. And this is my last piece of chipboard from this pack. So I've got chipboard. I'm going to cut the chipboard and then I will show you what the cover is going to look like. Thank you, Miss Tracy. So if you've ever watched me before, I like to use my Fiskars cutter with a duller blade to score my pieces that I need. So my pages are going to be 8.5 by 11 folded in half. So they're going to be 8.5 by 8.5. So I'm going to do my cover is going to be 6 by 9. So I'm going to do 6 inches this way twice. And I don't care if I messed up because I can always, it's going to be covered with paper anyway. Hey, Miss Tamara. And then I'll use a piece of this for the spine, and I have no clue how many signatures I'm going to put in it, so I'm not even worried about that right now. I am going to pull that back up because I need to cut the rope off. And where did I put my cutting mat? Oh, it's underneath my desk. Hey, Miss Mary Lou and Miss Brandy. So if you've ever watched me before when I do junk journaling, I like to use, this is my phone cord because my phone was dying earlier and I was charging it. I like to use a box cutter to cut my chipboard. I find it to be the easiest. And since I used my Fiskars dull blade, I already have my line where I need to cut, so it's going to be straight. It won't be crooked. Because I have OCD, for those of you that have never watched me before. And so I would measure everything and get that ruler out and score it and with the blade, and it would never come out directly. And then I realized, hey, I can score this with my dull blade that I need to throw away. All it has to do is make a mark on the chipboard so that I can see where I need to cut. But yeah, So that's what I use. And then I use my box cutter. I think this one is Hyper Tough, so I think this one is from Walmart. And I just go as many times as I need to until it's completely cut through. This is 80-point chipboard. I actually it's grown on me since I originally purchased the box of it. I honestly have not, no, it doesn't drive me crazy when other people do that. It's an OCD thing for me. Like, if I get it all messed up, I get like verklempt. Hey, Christina. Happy work anniversary, even though I'm pretty sure you're still out of work right now because of your surgery. I could be wrong, though. Hey, Miss Carla. Welcome, my Cajun neighbor. For those of you that don't know, Carla and I live in the same state. We just don't live in the same area. We both live in the South, though, so that counts for something. Miss Carla's a couple of hours away from me. I don't know how many signatures I want to put in this, so I don't know if I want to do all of the theme parks or just 3 of them. So personally, I have never been to Animal Kingdom at Walt Disney World, because the last time I went there, I don't think it existed. Or if it did, we did not go there, because the last time I went was when I was graduating from high school in 2002. So we did not go to that park if it existed. And before that, the last time I had gone to Disney World before that was when I was in 6th grade. So it's a little, and my dad, we always drove there. So my dad would wake us up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and drive to Disney World. One time, I don't remember how old I was. I think, ooh, I didn't mean to do that. We went when I was in kindergarten. And I think we stopped and stayed the night at a hotel. Okay, that's not working, so I'm going to do it from the side, because I keep cutting over where I want to cut. And I don't want to mess it up too much. That would be nice, Miss Carla. Yeah, Carla and I live about 2 hours away from each other. 2 or 3 hours. I can't remember. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Lake Charles. 3 hours. Yes, I do need to plan a trip there. Unfortunately, my sister doesn't like Disney, so she won't let us take Emmy there, which is stupid. So the first time I bought it, I bought this. And I thought it was too thick. And I bought 20 point, which, let me tell you, don't buy 20 point if you're going to do journal books. It is way too flimsy. But the thicker one has grown on me, so I kind of like it now. But I think like a good middle ground is 50 point. And I never throw these away. I am going to put these somewhere with the rest of my stuff, and one day I'll make a small mini journal for Emmy or something. I don't know. So these are my front and back covers. I do need to figure out my signature thing, though. Last time Tamara went to Disney, she was 6. And Miss Lisa went when she was 9. So I think I know I went when I was like 2. Don't remember that. And then I think my parents took us when I was in preschool or kindergarten. So I was either like 4 or 5 when we went that time. And yeah, then I went when I graduated high school. So the trip that I remember the most is the high school one. And I did not go on Space Mountain. I've never been on Space Mountain. When we went when I was a kid, I didn't like the dark like that. I was not about to go on that ride, so my dad and sister went on that ride. Not me. Yes, well, it's because, so my godmother lives in Houston, and we traveled there a lot when I was a kid. We would go to, I think I missed saying hi to somebody. Let me scroll. Oh, hey, Kim. Yeah. So my godmother lives in Houston, and we would go there every year for my dad for work. We would go spend a weekend there when we were kids. So pretty much every year from the time, I think my godmother moved there when I was either 4 or 5, somewhere around there, until I was probably in high school almost. So, I mean, it was a good 10 years at least driving there. So we knew exactly how far it is. So from my house to Baton Rouge, it's an hour-ish. From Baton Rouge to Lake Lafayette is about an hour. And then from Lafayette to Lake Charles is about an hour. We were going, I've never been to Disneyland. My friend that worked at Disney, she's gone to she went to a bunch of the parks. I don't think she went to all of them, and she doesn't work for them anymore. But she went to Disneyland a couple of times at least, I know. And I've never been. Aw, that's so much fun. I would love to go I would just love to go in general. I haven't been there in forever. Hey, Melissa. So I'm trying to decide how big I want to make my spine on my journal. Because this piece is 4 inches because my sheet was, I think they're 16 by 12. Because I know they're 12 inches tall. Thank you for sprinkling. Christina went when she was 40. That's probably how old my parents were. Well, not my mom. Because my mom went to Disney World when it had first opened with my cousin and my grandparents. So gotta think. While I'm thinking how wide I want it, I'm gonna cut off the piece to be 9 inches. Because we do know I want that one to be 9 inches. I just got to figure out how wide I want it, because I don't know how many signatures I'm going to put in it. I have a travel guide because my friend, when she moved to Florida to work at Lockheed Martin, she talked about going to Disney, and then she started working at Disney. So I bought a travel guide, and I was like, oh, that'll be so much fun. I can plan stuff for us to do. Yeah. I never got to go there while she lived in Florida. And she lived there for a good 6 years, maybe. And never once did I get to go. So, haven't been to Disney World in forever. But I love Disney World. It's that magical place. Okay, I think I'm going to do... I don't think I'm going to make this huge. I think I'm going to cut this down from 4 inches to maybe 2.5. Because if I cut it down to 2.5, then I can do 1/2 inch in on each of them. I'm thinking ahead. So I think I'm going to do 2.5 for this one. See, I know we have Disney pictures from when we went when I was a kid. Because I've seen them, but I don't know exactly where they are at the moment. They are organized somewhere. Just not sure where they ended up after we organized them. And one thing I definitely remember, so I don't remember a lot about the trip when we went when I was in kindergarten, preschool, kindergarten, whatever that age was. I do remember we ate at Cinderella's Castle, and the king from Robin Hood, the animated version, came over to the table, and I did not like him, and I wanted him to go away. And he did not want to listen to me. But I did not like him. He was not a nice character in the movie. So I don't know how many people like villains in movies, but I didn't. I didn't want to be around him. And a stupid snake. And when we went back, when we went that time, it was some kind of Mickey's anniversary or Mickey's birthday or something, because I remember being in Toontown, I think is the area that it was called. And I remember going to Mickey's birthday party. Because I'm like, my sister and parents don't remember, but I've seen videos of the birthday party online, and I'm like, why would I remember that if we didn't actually go there? Why would I remember us going to a birthday party thing at the park if we didn't actually go there? So that's my proof is that I remember being at that event before I even saw the video online. I saw the videos online and was like, yeah, that's what I went to. Okay, I'm going to get my paper. So I did purchase this and it was not cheap, but I did not have time to design anything and I couldn't find anything I liked besides this one. But it's got all of the stuff from the Magic Kingdom. It's got Epcot's ball. It's got the monorail. It has the Hollywood Tower of Terror from Disney Studios, which when I went there, it was MGM. And let's see, it's got Star Tours. It's got the little Starship Trooper dude. So, and it's got the Tree of Life from the Animal Kingdom, not Animal Planet. So I'm going to trim off the white parts on the edges of this the long way. And then I'm going to cut off a few inches because I know that I need, yep, that's his name, King John, and his snake is named Ka. And I don't like either one of them. Or maybe Ka was the name of the snake in I think Ka was the snake in the Jungle Book. But I'm sorry, that snake was either the same snake that Disney just reused or they made that snake look very much the same. Either way, they were both evil. He had that snake with him all the time. Sorry guys, I'm just making sure my line is going to be straight and I'm not sure why it looks like it's not. Maybe that's better. So yes, I have been to Disney World a few times. I love all the rides. I don't think I've ever actually been on the carousel at the park. If I did, it was when I was a kid and I do not remember it. So I want to measure this, but I'm pretty sure that what I cut off was like 1/4 of an inch. So it should be 19.5 inches. So this ruler is 18. $19, $20, $21, $22, $23. Oh, yeah, I'm right. 24 3/4 because 23 3/4 because it wasn't a 1/4 of an inch. It was probably 1/8 on each end. So we got this. We've got our pieces for our two sides. Now I have to figure out what I'm going to cover this with. And I don't have my signatures ready, so I might have to print something off of get my computer back up here and print something to do like a journal tag or something, because yeah. So I think I only need like, let's just put this one here. I'm not going to flip it over. I know I don't need all of this. I only need a couple inches on the end to hold over. So let's do this and let's see how much we can cut off the end. And I'll just get my trimmer back out and cut it. You know what? I'm going to get my smaller ruler out instead of trying to bend that one and break it. I have a bunch of them. I love my little ruler. So I'm going to do, let me measure and see what this is. Yeah, this is a little more than 2 inches, but it's also crooked. So we're going to do 2 inches. And I'm just going to move this over a little bit and this over a little bit. And I would rather have more space in between my pages, my covers, than what's necessary, because let me tell you, it's not fun when you measure it the wrong way. Okay, so I can cut off about 4.5 inches. So let's get my paper trimmer back up and we'll cut off 4.5 inches. Because 2 inches on each end should be more than enough. 4.5. And obviously I did not cut the top border off that's white, because you're not going to see it, and B, it won't fit in a paper trimmer. So we have extra that I can use for anything I want. So we could decorate a tag. We could make a, I don't know, it's not really, I mean, I guess it is thick enough. I could use it to make pockets, but this is going to be our cover piece. And I need to figure out what I want to use. I could use this on the inside to cover up my spine. I might do that. Then I got to think of what I want to put on the inside to... I do things weirdly. I'm not even going to lie. I do things weirdly. I don't sew my journal in when I'm putting it together. I glue it in later. I do my pages weirdly because after I glue them, I will cover the inside and go to the spine. So I usually leave room on the edges so the spine will be in the middle, and I'll only fold the top down and the bottom down and glue it to this. And obviously it's going to be glued on here. And I leave this part open, so maybe I won't use this one. And I glue this to my front and back cover. So I think I might need a bigger sheet than what I have right here. So I might not use this. I mean, it kind of is big enough, but it's kind of... because I need to make sure I leave enough space, and then it's going to cover part of it. And then I got to cover the front and back cover with something. So maybe I'll print out another piece, but I don't know. I might just do plain on the inside. Just do like plain white on the inside. That way I can cover the whole inside with stickers and stuff, because I'm sure I can find a ton of that. So let me just grab a piece of... let me see if I have... I mean, not if I have, but let me see what paper I have that I could use for that. I don't have any white. I don't have any. I need to get some more white cardstock. All I have is the 12 by 12s, and I don't really want to use that. So I think I'm going to use this cream color paper. And then I did pull this out because I thought we might make a big... I don't know what it's called. So we need one sheet to cover this because I'm going to use it... excuse me, portrait. And then I'll probably see how much I can use of this. And I might cut this one in half because I think that's what I did last time to cover the front and back parts. So I'm just going to glue this in the middle. And like I said, I don't have my signatures. I don't even know how many signatures I'm going to do. But I do have stuff on my printer. I have stuff on my computer that I was working on right before I came live. And I can print something off to do the cards with, hopefully. So I did get some more tape. I got some more of my 1-inch tape. I did find out that they make 2-inch wide tape, but I think I will just stick with my 1-inch tape. And I can never rip this, so you will always see me cutting tape because it never works when I try to rip it. It does when I use it for like the slimmer ones, like the ones that are like 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch. But I can never get the bigger ones like this to rip on the ends. Or at least not the way I want them to. So we are going to burnish this to make sure it is down all the way. I'm going to get my pokey tool out because I always use my pokey tool to pull up the backing strip on this. And then I am going to use some of my beacon glue. Let's see if I can get it to come out of my little jar that I put it in, my little squeeze bottle, because I downsized my big one into it. It is a big roll of tape. The one I had before that I had gotten from Amazon was 2 rolls of tape. But the 2 rolls of tape, I think were either less length than this one. Something, I looked at the price, and whatever it was, there was something with it that was either, this was a better deal. Because this is, I think, 40 feet. I think it's 40 feet of tape. And my other ones were like 2, I don't know. There was something. It was 2 rolls, and whatever it was, I don't think it equaled this. This glue does not like coming out of this jar, and I hate that. Oh, look, it's coming out now that I'm squeezing the life out of it. This is just an icing jar. I know people use those Sugar Bell bottles, but I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere where that company doesn't make them anymore. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. So I'm just using Beacon. That is what I put in there. And it's just an icing container from Hobby Lobby. Because Hobby Lobby's bakery stuff is always on sale. This is probably crooked as all get out, but it's not going to bother me that much. And I say that much because it probably will bother me some. And I learned from Tamara that you're supposed to put your lid back on as soon as you use your glue. That's why I don't know if it's like that, if that's why it like leaks out of the top or whatever when you leave the lid open. Yep. Because I can't, they definitely don't have them on Amazon because I've looked. And I'm trying to think if I haven't been able to find them anywhere else. I do have a corner miter that I sometimes will use, but sometimes I feel like it cuts off too much of the paper. So I'm thinking I'm not going to use that today. I might use it as no, I'm just going to use my ruler. Because I just need to cut off some right here to be able to fold it over. I don't need to cut off a ton. Quite honestly, I could probably just not even worry about that. I could probably just fold it down and then, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Words don't come easily, and neither do ideas. I'm trying to think of how I want to cut this. Or if I want to cut this. Because to miter it, you would cut it like right here. But I don't want to cut off all of this. That's a big corner that it always cuts off. But I also don't want to like have my ruler go like this and not have enough to cover the top. I'm thinking here. Sometimes my brain does work. Sometimes it does not. I think what I want to do is cut this. So I'm just lining it up with the bottom, basically, of my piece of chipboard. And if this is not straight enough for me, I can always erase it because it's a friction pin. Also, the pieces that I cut off do not have to actually be even. They could be off if they need to be. Okay. So I think I'm going to just cut in here and then angle. I think that's my best option. And I don't really want to use these scissors because they're all sticky. My good scissors that I usually use to cut paper are on the floor right now. So I really wanted to use something smaller. I don't want to use those. This is why I have like 20,000 pair of scissors. See if these will cut decently. So I'm cutting to the middle. And of course, can't cut straight even when there's a line. And then I'm going to just cut a piece here and a piece on that side. First, I'm just going to cut both of these. So I'm doing things a little bit different today. Like that's anything new. Let's see. I'm trying to think of how much I want to cut. And for that, I think I'm just going to use my little craft knife. I'm going to try the one that I have that's for your finger. It never used to work, but we're going to try it again. So you're supposed to put it on your finger like this and you can control the blade better. Yeah, that controls the blade very well when the piece just doesn't even come out of the lid. Well, okay then, we're not using that craft knife. Let's try this one. Yeah, I was able to cut them. Love you too, Miss Lisa. Enjoy Bible study. See, I didn't even measure these. I just cut them. I'm eyeballing this part. I mean, I didn't really measure when I cut these pieces off. And I might angle these too when I go to put them into the journal, just so that they're not as straight up here, but I do not want to cut a ton off the top to begin with. So I'm going to attach these pieces at the top and the bottom, and I'm just going to use some tape and some glue because I like to use both. And sometimes I can rip this one and sometimes it doesn't like me. So I have the tape, I have the glue. I'm going to burnish this so that we make sure it stays down. Sometimes I've forgotten to do that, and I've ended up with, when I went to take the backing off, the whole piece of tape was coming off. You don't want that. Just taking the backing strip off, and then I'm going to put some glue around the edges and then over the tape some, just so it does not, it gives me a few seconds to move it around if I need to, which I don't really need to move it around much because this isn't going anywhere. So I'm just going to fold up the end piece on the spine part and use this to make sure it stays down. And I'm wiping off any extra that I get over here. Well, then that means they didn't actually go out, the company didn't go out of business. Maybe it got sold. I think it was going out of business, I think. But it might have gotten sold so that it didn't go out of business. Unlike Joann's, where it ended up in bankruptcy. And now we have to rely on Michael's for things that Joann's used to have, but they don't have my paper. I complain about that because I really like the Park Lane paper that they used to have. I have one pad of paper from them that I absolutely love. And I just started getting into this like last year or so. I mean, I had paper from them, but I didn't really use it because I wasn't really paper crafting a ton. And then they decided to go out of business. So now I'm like hoarding my paper. I don't want to use it because I don't want to have to not have it. But then there's like the thing where it's like, well, if you don't use it, but you have it, like, and you're not going to be able to replace it, you might as well just use it. So I don't know. So I have this, and like I said, I might have to miter this a little bit, like on an angle, but if I do it, I'm not going to take off a ton of it. So I am going to set that aside, let that glue dry. I am going to grab my laptop and print out some things that we can use on a tag or don't know what I'm going to do on here. I might just make it like a page with pocket on it. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm looking for. I'm looking from the laptop. Because I did design some stuff. I didn't design stuff. I put stuff on Canva and put it into a document. I was trying to put some maps on here, but I couldn't find ones that I really like. We were talking about Sugarbell. They're the icing tubes like this that you can put like this. This is an icing bottle from Hobby Lobby. So Sugarbell is like a clear bottle like this, but their tip looks like an icing tip. I have those two things, and let me just see if I can find something else to put on this third page. I can minimize some things. I know y'all can kind of see my screen a little bit because it's tilted. I don't know if y'all can see it a lot, but it would probably help if I plugged in the adapter for the mouse. So I just add stuff to Canva, and then I resize it to be whatever I want. So if I want some really small things, I just shrink them down on here. What is up with that? Okay, good, that fixed that. I'm just adding some stuff. We're adjusting sizes. I'm sure this is boring. Awesome. This is like an image with like all kinds of stuff from the Magic Kingdom, and then one from Epcot. And then I have the word, I've never been to Disneyland, but I have the word Disneyland that I could put on the cover or something. And I like the Disney World photo. The Disney World, the logo. I knew that word would come to me, from the 80s. But that's just because I'm an 80s baby. So let's go. I have some theme park tickets on here, but I think there's one that I think this one might fit. I can shrink this down a little bit, and it'll fit down here in the corner of this page. So I have a ton of stuff that I saved on here from, they're all from Instagram. So I've got like pages with like Fantasyland, Frontierland, you know, all of those things. Bear Country, Frontierland. So let's see. This one is Tomorrowland, and this is Mickey from the 80s. Ask me how I know. I know my different years. I know my different years of Mickey Mouse. I can tell what era he's from, because he looked different. He looks different every era. God, you need to learn how to talk. I don't know if that left any space, but we're going to keep going with it. We've got New Orleans Square. For those of you that don't know, I live outside of New Orleans. We've got, I thought I had one that was Tomorrowland with Mickey on it. I wonder if it ended up in a different folder. Oh, I could put this one in here. I know I've been to Typhoon Lagoon. That's like the water park that's owned by Disney. Put that. Let's see what else. I'm not seeing what I want. I want to use this, but it's very blurry. It's very dark. Once upon a... I am making a Disney World journal. Maybe it got put in here? No? I don't know. Here's Fantasyland. Does anybody have a favorite land at either of the theme parks that are in the U.S.? I know New Orleans Square is not at Disney World, it's at Disneyland. We also, I don't think, have Storybook Land, which is what this image is from, with the whale. That is at Disneyland, and I have never been there. But I like the image, so I'm putting it on this document. And I actually have some photographs that I found online that I could use too. So which one am I missing? Frontier Fantasy. Adventureland is one I'm missing. I have one thing that's Adventureland, but I don't really like it. I need to find another one. This one is at Adventureland. This is where the Dole Whip is. For anybody that doesn't know, it's like a famous dessert kind of thing that they sell at the park. Hey, Miss Bonnie. I'm just, you know, wait until the last minute to do things. That's just how I roll. Let's see if I can move some things around and make this fit better. Let's make the Fantasyland one just a smidge smaller. There, that'll work. See if I can find one little thing to put in this area that's open on my page now. I'm looking in my folder to see what I can find. Let's just add the Disneyland logo. It says Disneyland Park and Hotel. Let's just add this. And I'm downsizing it because I don't need it to be as big as it is. I don't know if y'all know you could do that. No, it's just the ones in the United States. I've never been to Disneyland, but I played the game. There's an Xbox game for Disneyland. That's how I found out about Duffy Bear. Any of y'all know about Duffy? If you know who Duffy Bear is, let me know in the comments. Because I'd be excited to know who knows about Duffy. That doesn't fit there. Let's see what else I have that's that. I'm looking for something that's that horizontal length. I have a bunch of ones. Oh, there's the one I was looking for. It got put in the wrong folder. I knew I had one for Tomorrowland that was different. I like this blue one better. Yes, I'm talking to myself. That happens quite a lot when I'm crafting and or designing stuff. Because I misplace things. I can do a whole sheet with stuff for all the different rides. I have so many images from different ones. For those of you that have been to Disney World, what is your favorite ride and what is your least favorite ride? I have a couple. Okay, well, this isn't fitting where I want it to fit the way I want it to fit, so I'm just going to make it bigger. And that's just what we're going to roll with that one. Or if you have a favorite theme park. I can't even believe I don't even have a picture in here of my favorite ride. I need to find one. I'll give y'all a hint. E.T. is at Universal Studios, not Disney. Because it was made by Steven Spielberg. We're just gonna, I'm gonna download these and see what we're gonna print. My favorite ride is at the Epcot Park. So if that tells you anything, there are not a ton of rides over there. I don't even know if it's still there. It was there in the 80s and the 90s. I know that much. I obviously did not plan well enough for this event. So apologize for that right now, Wendy. Okay, let's see what we can do. I think, I don't know how many papers are in my printer right now. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. It's only what's left of my white paper, which is not a lot. Yeah, I'm going to print out the stuffed one cream paper, which is really not that much of a difference. It just gives you a vintagey look, which most of my stuff is vintagey anyway. It's a Small World was your favorite ride. That's got to be on one of my least favorites. It's not my least favorite by any means, but it's definitely up there on the rides I don't want to ride. I'll ride it, but I don't want to ride it 10 times. The older I go. Yes. See, I want to go back to Epcot because I did not appreciate Epcot when I was there last. I did not appreciate all the cultures of the world. And I would love to go back. We did eat when I was there when I was in 6th grade. We did eat at the Italian restaurant that's in Epcot in the World Showcase section. And I mean, it was so good. Do you make your own stickers? I have printer paper and I do print them out, but I don't really design my own stickers. I'm not a good artist. Yes, good night, Christina. So my favorite ride at Epcot is not part of the World Showcase. Even though they do have rides back there. When I went, though, they didn't have the Frozen one. It was Maelstrom in Morocco, I think. No, not Morocco. It was the Vikings one. I have matte white paper, but I also have the clear paper. But I don't like the clear paper as much because it's like really clear and it doesn't print like a lot. Soaring all over the world is cool. They have that at Epcot and Disney World. So my favorite ride. Hey, Miss Liz. I just remember singing the song. Yeah, and they've updated it since I was a kid. They've added like characters from different areas of the world from like the movies. But my favorite ride was Journey into Imagination. That was at Epcot. My favorite character at all of parks is Figment. I used to call him Figment. Hey, Miss Brenda. I am printing out some stuff because I was not prepared. We worked on a journal cover with this image of Disney parks. This is just a piece that I cut off, but I don't have my signatures ready to sew. So it kind of seemed pointless to actually put the cover together. So I am printing out some things that we can use as ephemera, and hopefully I can cut some of it up. I printed those and they're a little bit big. But I will show you guys as they print out. But I was thinking of using one of these and making it like, I don't even know what I'm going to make it like. Yes, that is Figment. Actually, I think I have the book. There's a little golden book that is, they have a bunch of the theme parks. Like the rides from the theme parks. Like Haunted Mansion, the Jungle Cruise. Where is it? I have this book. I could have used this book. But I want to get the Disney World one. I bought the Disneyland one. And there is a Disney World one. Yes, so it wasn't really futuristic, but it was all about like your imagination because it was called Journey into Imagination. And the song from that one was called One Little Spark. So this is a Disneyland Golden Book, and this is Figment. He is my favorite. And not this past school year, but the one before, my niece Emmy, her teacher gave her a Figment doll when they were ending the school year because she was switching classrooms to a different grade. So she told her she could have it. So this is my Figment. book. It's copyrighted 1981. And this is the Dream Finder. He's the guy. And then Figment pops up from here on his little ride. See? And I was going to take this apart, but I don't know if I want to. Actually, what I would like to do, and it's really expensive to do it, and I would definitely not be selling it, is get all of the theme park rides, like this one, even though it says Figment and that's not the name of the ride. Get all of the books, take them apart, and make one big book with like all of the different rides in them. But this is the Disneyland one, and like I said, I've never been to Disneyland. This one says copyright 2025. It doesn't even have like a reprint year. It just says 2025 on it. Disneyland is your land. I really love the pictures in these. This one is very vintagey. Yep, Disneyland. So I can tell you all this. My dad is older than Disneyland. My mom is not, but my dad is. My mom was not alive when it opened, but my dad was. Trying to see if I can find Duffy in this book to show y'all what I'm talking about. This is definitely old school Mickey Mouse, because that's not what he looks like nowadays either. The Jungle Cruise, the Tiki Room, and the Tiki Room. Dr. Ludwig von Drake. I used to do Disney sing-alongs, and he was the one that was like the host of the show. Frontierland, where Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is. That ride I liked. Trying to see if the one I don't like is on here. I don't see it on here. The one that I didn't like as a kid was the Snow White ride. It was a dark ride, and it had scary stuff in it. I did not appreciate that as a kid. And then this is Liberty. They have Liberty Square, which they have that at Disney World and Disneyland. And then this is New Orleans Square, which is where the Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean, and I guess something to do with the Princess Frog maybe is there now. Nope, I don't see Duffy in here. Duffy is a bear that is apparently the mascot of Disneyland. And there's a little bird that is a mascot at Disney World. I don't know what the bird's name is. Let me see if I can find the bird's name. Disney World bird. Because he's on the cover of one of the books that I saw. Well, you look it up and it says Orange Bird. That's his name. Apparently on Wikipedia, that's its name. But apparently that really is his name. His name is Orange Bird. His head isn't orange. He debuted as a mascot in 1971 in exchange for Florida Citrus Commission sponsoring the Enchanted Tiki Room at the Magic Kingdom. He is an anthropomorphic orange canary. He's actually really cute. I don't know if y'all can see that. But that's the Orange Bird. And he's the mascot at that park. Let me see if I can find Duffy Bear Disneyland. Okay, I don't know what Disneyland Paris is, but I mean I do know what Disneyland Paris is, but okay, I don't like this site. No, I do not need everybody knowing all my stuff. This is Duffy Bear. He is the mascot at Disneyland. He's like a sailor, which I think is adorable. Okay, I'm trying to resize the screen. It says he can be found at Tokyo Disney Sea, Disney California Adventure, Shanghai Disney Resort, Epcot, Hong Kong Disneyland, and Disneyland Paris. I don't remember this dude being at the Epcot park. I found out about him from playing the Disneyland game on Xbox. That's how I found out about him. So let me show you guys what we printed so far. So these were Disneyland tickets, Disney tickets back in the day. You used to have physical tickets that were for different types of rides. So these were for only this B one that is this orange color. Only worked on Main Street, Frontierland, and Adventureland. And then this one, it is an e-ticket, and it only worked at Tomorrowland, Fantasyland, Bear Country, New Orleans Square, and Adventureland, and it only worked on certain rides in that land. So I have a bunch of them that I can cut out and use. And then these were tickets to individual rides, apparently. They were like 35 cents, 20 cents, depending on what you were going on. Oh, look, Miss Carla knows who that bear is. So these are the images that I printed out, like the theme parks. And then these are the ones for the lands. So I got Tomorrowland, Frontierland, Bear Country, which I think Bear Country is kind of in like Adventureland / Frontierland. New Orleans Square, Fantasyland, Main Street, USA. This is the only thing I have for Adventureland is the Dole Whip that you can get at the Tiki Room. This is a different Fantasyland. This one is at Disney World, and this is Typhoon Lagoon, which is a water park in Disney in Florida. And then I'm printing off one other one, and I think I need to make those resized. I'm going to use them for something, but they are way, way. Oh yeah, Chuck Couture now has Toy Story, Winnie the Pooh. Trying to think of anything else that's on there. So guys, I don't even think I mentioned this in a while, but we're in Wendy's event, and Wendy is up after me. She is closing out the event. I know I said on earlier that on my page that I was the last one, but apparently I was looking at the lineup in one chat and it got updated in a different chat because the one I had didn't even have Wendy on, and I was wondering why she wasn't in her own event. But I've had that happen to me before. And obviously, if anybody watched my event yesterday, y'all understand why we don't like people that no-show. Well, apparently my printer is low on ink. It says printer may be out of ink. It's not. It's just low. It's low on ink. So these are some cool things. These are probably my favorite thing that I printed out. These are all stamps from the different pavilions at the World Showcase. And then these are just like some images from them. So I don't know how many of y'all have been to Epcot, but there is a place in the back and they have Morocco, Japan, Italy, Mexico, Canada, the United States, France, and China. And they were actually supposed to have another world back there, but it didn't work out for some reason with the country. And so they obviously didn't do it. But it was partially like ready to go when they opened the theme park. So I learned this like way after last time I've been to Epcot. But apparently you can still see part of what they originally intended for that building to be if you go there. So let's cut these out. These could actually be mini ATC carts because they're small enough to be, and they're all the same size. I would use my little trimmer, but oh, there it is. I really don't like using my big trimmer if I don't have to. I find that my little Fiskars has a line that you can see where you're cutting. And I can't always see with that one. So I'll just cut these out. But they're actually like stamps, but I wouldn't cut them out as stamps just because then you'd like mess up all of the, well, that was good, Amy. Then you would just mess up all of the stuff around them. Since like the France one, he has a passport. The Italy one, he's got the Leaning Tower. So I've only got like 2 minutes left. I'm sorry we didn't get a ton of stuff done, but I did teach y'all something about Disney, apparently. I taught you that it has mascots, if you didn't know that already. And I am going to keep working on this and figure out what pages I want to do in my journal, because I'm not sure. I have some paper from, I think I have some paper from Echo Park. That's kind of like Disney themed. It's not really Disney because they don't have a I'm going to turn this one upside down. They don't have the copyright to do Disney stuff. But because Winnie the Pooh is no longer, well, the old school Winnie the Pooh is no longer under copyright, they have a bunch of Winnie the Pooh stuff. Let's cut some of this stuff out too. I'm just cutting along whatever one is wider. This one I don't think I'm going to be able to cut out right now because I think I need my bigger trimmer. This one I should be able to cut this out. And I can use these on smaller things. Let's see if I can get this one. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you stay tuned for Miss Wendy. She's had a stressful afternoon with having a no-show. I totally get that. Happened to me yesterday. And if you missed any of the crafters, go watch them in Wendy's group, the Dusty Granny event group. And yeah, Wendy does events every other week now because of work change. And I told you guys that this event was inspired by Tracy Aldridge. I'm sure a lot of y'all know who Miss Tracy is because she helps Wendy out a ton. But she was the inspiration for the event. So let's go watch Miss. I think I'm live again tomorrow evening sometime. So bye, guys.